Hey y'all, I went on to X. I just wanted to see what let's see. What did I put in there? It says I got fired over Charlie Kirk in the search bar because I've seen a few posts on like Instagram and stuff. But it says here people are getting fired left and right for celebrating the death of Charlie. A Secret Service agent was put on leave after leaving vile comments on Facebook. Employees at Delta Airlines, American Airlines, and United Airlines, pilots and staff suspended or fired for celebratory posts. DC Comics canceled Red Hood after its creator posted similar comments. MSNBC political analyst Matthew Dowd fired for on-air comments suggesting Kirk's rhetoric contributed to a shooting. A children's health care of Atlanta worker dismissed for inappropriate comments. And my personal fave, the Office Depot employee in Michigan fired after refusing to print Kirk vigil flyers and calling them propaganda. NASDAQ and Microsoft staffers terminated for violating company policies on violence. Several educators across the U.S. were fired, including professors at Austin P something, PA, I don't know, State University, Clemson University in Oregon, fired for posts like Kirk's death brightened my day. The communications staffer for an NFL team, you have to find the positivity in everything. As sad as everything has been, Charlie's death has created so many jobs. And then learn to code. I mean, that's what Biden said at one point. Learn to code. Charlie Kirk, she was fired for making this post. Thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch. Someone shot Charlie Kirk at a university event and hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. Says you weren't fired for expressing your opinions. You were fired because you showed that you have zero compassion and human decency. You showed your employer who you really are. I'll add, it may be perceived that you represent the company that employs you. Let's see what this moron has to say here.
So I'm starting to see a lot of videos online this morning of people that are losing their jobs because they quote unquote express their opinion. I just posted a video. Yeah, it's deeper than that. You didn't get fired because you expressed your opinion or posted a video. You didn't get fired for that. No, that's not why you got fired. No, you were fired because you showed that you lack zero compassion, zero empathy, and zero human decency. That's why you were fired. You showed your employer who you really are and who they really hired. See, here's the thing. Your job is more than the skills that you possess. When you have that job, you're expected to do certain things. You're expected to treat your customers well. You're expected to treat your teammates well. You're expected to treat the people that you serve well. So you should really ask yourself this: why would an employer believe that you can actually show compassion and empathy to teammates, to customers, and the people that you serve if you couldn't do it online? Like, you made a video. You bragged about not having compassion. You bragged about not having empathy. You bragged about not having human decency. You got yourself fired because you were pandering to a similar audience of like-minded people. You wanted clicks and likes. You probably wanted to go viral. You wanted to get noticed. And your employer noticed you. Job well done.
Wow.
Mission accomplished. See, here's the thing. Actions have consequences. And when you make a brand out of lacking empathy and compassion and human decency, don't be surprised when nobody wants to be associated with you. I just gave you something to think about. Amen, I say to you.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be one of the ones that was actually saying, excuse me, I called him an idiot, but no, he actually is just telling the reality, giving them cold hard facts. Let's see what this says. Let's see. I won't be buying this shit until Sucker Punch cleans house and fires everyone of the assholes who got happy over Charlie Kirk's death. They're disgusting and need to get fired. Let's see. Says, I hope the shooter's name is Mario. That Luigi knows his brother got his back. He died doing what he loved, being a transphobic racist bigot. Okay, I don't know who this company is, but it says something about Sucker Punch. Oh, I don't know. PlayStation UK? I don't know. I don't know who this is. Sorry. Okay, so fire for standing up for Charlie Kirk when doctors, nurses, and hospital staff celebrate death. Kind of takes the old healthcare out of the equation. And then meet Lexi Kunzel. I saw her, or Kunzel. I'm not sure how you say it. It says she's one of the good ones yesterday in front of a nurse's station. Sorry, with 8 nurses and a patient. Dr. Matthew Jung said in front of everyone, I hate Charlie Kirk. He had it coming. He deserved it. And what kind of doctor takes the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm? First, do no harm, I believe is what it says. I'm not a doctor. I've never taken the oath, never read it, but that's the one thing I do know. Anyway, how can somebody that is a medical professional be in the right frame of mind to take care of all patients that come in, whether their political ideas are the same as theirs? It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's go on. It says Lexi, a registered nurse, was the only one that spoke up. She says, you're a doctor. How could you say someone deserved to die? Lexi said you could hear a pin drop and no one said anything, including the patient. She reported the incident to management and after she got home, posted about it and Dr. Jung on her private Instagram. She received an email from her union representative saying that she needs to look for another job. Lexi was also pulled into a meeting and suspended without pay indefinitely pending an investigation. Meanwhile, there's no information on whether or not Dr. Matthew Jung is being reprimanded. Lexi has filed a lawsuit. I interviewed her over the phone and she said, I was deeply saddened over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It was devastating to hear the killing of an innocent father, and I thought everyone would agree, especially a doctor whose purpose is to save lives. See? Oh my gosh. In a time when personal social ideologies are often celebrated, especially if they align with popular progressive topics, I simply aim to stand up for what is right. They try to shut me down, but they're not going to. Lexi hopes he will share her story, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. The fact also remains that Dr. Matthew Jung should be held accountable for saying Charlie deserved it in front of a nurse's station and a patient. What if the patient disagrees? Would Dr. Matthew Jung treat them? Would he treat them differently? Would he allow his emotions to cloud his judgment as he did by saying such a statement in front of a patient? This happened at Englewood Hospital in New Jersey, Englewood, New Jersey. And then one of Charlie's angels. This is Lexi Kunzel. Kunzel. I may be saying it wrong. Sorry if I am. I'm not trying to, but I don't know how to pronounce it. And then, so this Scott Pressler. It says here the union. Here's the union representative's email to Lexi. Lexi, I'm heading into work for a few hours, but wanted to touch base to see how you're doing and to make sure that you had my contact information. I'm sure you recognize the seriousness of the current situation. The posting with the EH affiliation and the disagreement in front of an awake patient are at the heart of this extremely serious matter. I have to advise you that this may lead to termination. And do you have other employment? If not, I would strongly suggest that you start looking for another RN job, and I'll be available later this afternoon to speak or correspond. And then says permanently closed Matthew Jung. He only had 1.4 star rating, so probably should be, but it's probably more he just shut down the site, not that, or it looks like a Facebook posting, but permanently closed. Yeah, I doubt it. Okay, so you all made this national news. New Jersey nurse suspended without pay for calling out doctor who cheered Carly uh, Kirk's death. The lawsuit tribute, I don't know, maybe it's a tribal, something, I don't know, whatever. Okay, it said you did it, you made it happen. Matthew Jung has resigned. New Jersey surgeon who cheered Charlie Kirk's murder resigns as suspended nurse who called him out is reinstated. She shouldn't have been fired anyway. Yeah, works between these three surgeries, emailed all and calling now, bariatric. Okay, let's see here. So I know you're busy right now, but I hope you've seen this. Please listen. I'm tagging just as she asked, and I would ask all of you to please report and tag. This needs to be done ASAP. Let's see what this person is saying here.
Alrighty, this message is for President Trump and his administration. If you stay to watch the video, please tag him down below, share, and repost so we can try to get this to him as quickly as possible and hope that he can do something with this. President Trump, as a supporter who voted for you 3 times, I am hoping and praying that you will revisit what Barack Obama and Joe Biden got rid of back in 2013, which is the Smith-Mundt Act, which held news corporations accountable for lying to the American people and spreading propaganda instead of truth. I think instead of bringing it back as a Smith-Mundt Act, you name it the Charlie Kirk Act, you make it a law, and you make it damn near impossible for these people to continue to lie to the American public, which has brought chaos, hatred, division, and anarchy all across this country. Fines out the ass, which will damn near bankrupt their companies should they lie to the American people ever again. They can have their opinions, that's fine. They need to state that it is their opinion and that it is not a fact. Because of their constant lies, a man lost his life over it. Because of the constant hateful rhetoric of calling him a fascist and a Nazi and a white supremacist and a bigot, the same thing that they called you, this man is dead. I think this would be a great legacy for him to have a law named after him to force journalists to finally start telling the truth and having the integrity that they have lacked for over a decade. I hope that this gets to you. I hope that you think about it and that you pass it into law. Because we are on a dangerous path right now with the constant lies and the propaganda. And that doesn't end just at news journalists. It needs to go to content creators who consistently spread lies and propaganda and half-truths across the internet. This needs to end. And people need to start being held accountable for baseless claims over absolute abysmal things.
Well, and if you demonize somebody and dehumanize people, this is what leads to deaths and murders and stuff like that. I mean, you can't just have a society like that. It says, I'm just going to move on. Elon Musk at one point was offering to help with unlawful firings due to woke culture backlash. I think this is a perfect candidate. I don't know what that is. And then the CC Elon Musk. We all need to put pressure on this hospital and the horrific management to fire the evil doctor. Thank you, Lexi. This is one. Oh, this one is in your neck of the woods. Can folks help with this one? Her profile says she's an election official in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what your point is here. Kirk was a piece of shit that got off easy since he should have been tortured first. But I'll take the elimination by our hero nonetheless. Really? He should have had his license revoked. This is the same Jung guy. To be treating patients with the killer mindset, it's sickening to think about. They need to report him to the nursing board and alert the state board immediately. Let's see. For those who like to refer to Charlie Kirk as a fascist, just so you know, assassinating people who think differently than you is peak fascism. It says we're no longer accepting things we cannot change. It is now time to change the things we cannot accept. That could be taken a couple of different ways as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Scott Pressler, this is who should be contacted. Okay, Englewood Health. Let's see. Make him famous. Call the number. So we need to do something about this. MFR, this is the worst one I've seen. Oh, yeah. Putting like what would have been like Charlie's little girl with spatter on her face. I mean, what kind of sicko is that? It says, I believe this is our guy. As a nurse, I truly believe this is against all ethics. Let's see, report him to the licensing board. Yeah. Let's see. That party is demon controlled. It says, do not hire leftists. Don't work for leftists. Do not do business with leftists. Do not socialize with leftists. Do not let your children near leftists. Do not tolerate leftists in any way, shape, or form in any institution or any capacity. Ostracize them from our civilization. Disconnect from evil. Isolate the virus, and they're not welcome here. Treat them as strangers and do not abide. The only response when met with leftism is get the fuck out or shut the fuck up. Be prepared to back it up. Okay, so let's see. Another sicko. She owns an accounting business. I guess she doesn't care if it's ruined. Let's see. Maybe she's making enough money she can have fuck you money. Yeah. Just got the Charlie Kirk news. Oh wow. Yeah. Sick people. Okay, Scott, what I find most alarming is that he felt comfortable enough with all those people around to say something like that. That reflects squarely on the hospital or conservatives in danger under the doctor or hospital's care. Nobody should go there. Do you know the hospital? And it's just Englewood, New Jersey, face of evil. Another one at the University of Michigan. Let's see. Charles H.F. Davis III, who teaches at the University of Michigan Center for the Study of Higher and Post-Secondary Education, called Kirk's killing a solution to what he asserted are the violent conditions and violent rhetoric. Uh, he said, Charlie Kirk is not a martyr, let's make him famous. This kind of mentality must be exposed and challenged. University of Michigan professor bankrolled by Gates Foundation. Well, there you go. Celebrates Charlie Kirk's assassination. Yeah, well, Charlie Kirk wasn't killed because of what he had to say. He was killed because the young were listening to him. Well, it's true. Um, so this is just that. Oh, interestingly, Dr. Jung's bio has been deleted by Englewood Health Org as their entire X account. I hope Lexi Kunzel owns Englewood Health after she sues the heck out of them. Imagine you're a doctor saving lives, making fun of someone died. Leftist, a serious mental illness and no cure. If you believe people deserve to be shot for their opinions, don't cry when you get fired for yours. And let's ruin this guy. No sleep, no rest, no peace. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's his hospital staff. Okay. Says the movement my husband built will not die, and that's from Erica Kirk. This is from the Englewood Health FB page. Make some phone calls and make him famous. Let's see. Okay, this is the same girl, the Charlie Kirk Act. Dr. Matthew Junk appears to have nuked his LinkedIn page. Let's see. Okay, so sounds like she had a good case on her hands. Dr. Matthew Jung, here is a quick reminder of the Hippocratic Oath. Maybe you should reconsider your practice if you feel the need to choose whose lives die. It says an oath stating the obligations and proper conduct of doctors formally taken by those beginning medical practice. Parts of the oath are still used in most medical schools. There's information about that hospital, and then posted it once and I'll post it again. This doctor is a disgrace. Had the audacity to say, I'm glad he deserved it in front of a patient and nursing station. In regards to Charlie Kirk being murdered today, you're what's wrong with this world? Let's see. Let me get out of this. I want to go on to other ones. Let's see. So I spent most of Friday making phone calls. I call businesses that has employees. You got fired because you said horrible things about Charlie Kirk. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. I got fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. I have no idea how I'm going to feed my wife's boyfriend's children this week. Oh my gosh. Oh no, the left is learning the lesson they taught the right over 15 years ago, except that the right got fired for not agreeing with filing or filling the workplace with degenerate sex shit, and the left is getting fired for celebrating murder. That's true. Let's see here. I honestly do not think I will be the same again after seeing the violence I have lately. All I know is I'm gonna keep speaking up. I got fired from my job this year because these kinds of people that hate Charlie Kirk, we gotta start standing up and keep speaking up. Uh, so you didn't have to mourn Charlie Kirk or think he was a good guy or agree with anything he had to say. You just had to have the self-control to not post yourself celebrating his death, but you did, and that's why you're fired. Says it's Monday now. Does anyone have my libtard co-worker got fired over Charlie Kirk's story? I want to hear personal anecdotes. I need to live vicariously. Says no, you were fired for race peddling and purposely incorrect to reporting a direct quote from Charlie Kirk to spin your own racist narrative. Just called a lady from Facebook who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. I called and told her I was telling her boss, and if she had any final words before I got her fired, she said, "Please, coach, I have a family to provide for." I said, "Charlie did too, you dumb bitch." Fired. You get upset when someone is fired over a 10-year-old tweet. I'm inferring from this that you hold to a moral axiom that no one should ever be fired for any reason. So you being glad that communist pedophile got fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination confused me. I don't know what that is. Okay, well. It appears that people on the left who have been getting people fired for years for expressing unpopular opinions online, including three separate attempts on me, don't seem to like it when the same is done to them. Yeah, a growing list of workers in hot water for praising Charlie Kirk's assassination. Anyway, I just wanted to show a few of those. I was curious if there was anything really good. I haven't seen anything that stands out, but I don't know if you saw the girl that got suspended from like Texas Tech, whatever. I think it was Texas Tech. Governor Abbott was calling for her suspension or expulsion, and then I think they put her LinkedIn profile pictures, her mugshot or something. That's what people were saying. I don't know. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Hope y'all have a good day. I'm just gonna keep rolling on with stuff. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Have a good day.